Hi, yeah, how you doing? Welcome to Precious Cook. Today I'm going to be showing you how I cook my delicious okra soup. Yeah, clean, simple, delicious, and quick okra soup. Not the one that you use the whole day to cook. So I'm using all fish today. So I'm going to be using red brim fish, and some people call it headless, and I'm going to be using king prawn. So that's all. Let's start. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is having to put the red brim fish in the pot. Yeah, so I didn't bother to peel off the scale because I don't want the skin in total. So the quick and the fastest way to take out the skin of your fish is to boil the fish like that, and then you peel off the fish skin. So that's what I do. So that's just a method I came up with about some time ago. So I'm still using it. So if I want my fish, I just want the inside. I don't want the skin and I don't want the bone. I just boil it straight, and then afterwards I peel it. So I'm gonna show you the process of what I'm gonna do to the fish anyway. So I just thought I should show you guys how I take out my fish skin. But if I want the skin, I just scrape off the scale, wash it, and then fry it, or perhaps just grill it. But in this occasion, I just don't want the fish skin. So not that I don't eat fish skin. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put in the hot water to boil. So this is the water I'm gonna be putting my fish. So I'm gonna put 1 tablespoon salt. 1 tablespoon salt in the water, and then I put the fish inside to boil. So at the same time, I don't have to wait for the fish to defrost. You get. So while the fish is boiling, this is the king prawn I'm gonna be using. So I just want to show you before I wash it. So with the fish, the king prawn, and the okra. So these are the other ingredients I'm gonna be using. So this is a red bell pepper, and this is scotch bonnet, and that's onions that I'm gonna be using. So I'm gonna blend this, or maybe like even grate it, because I really don't want it smooth. Also, I'm gonna be using salt and crayfish too, and then the Maggi cube. I'm not gonna add red pepper now because I'm gonna blend the pepper with the bell pepper. So stay tuned, please. Okay, guys. So now the fish has come to a boil. So I'm gonna drain the water, then bring the fish out. So I'll let it cool down. So when it cools down, I'll peel off the skin, and I'll show you how I take that out. So before that settles, yeah. So I'm gonna start grating my okra now. I've grated my okra, so I actually use my electric grater to do the okra, so I didn't use my hand. So as you can see, so this was what I used to grate my okra. But I first of all chopped them into some little size before I put them in the electric grater. So don't put it in the electric grater direct. It's not gonna give you nice shape. So you cut them into chalk size, and then you put in the grater just to like mix it up a bit, not for too long. So still on the grater, I'm gonna be putting in my onions and my red bell pepper, scotch bonnet. That's a green one. I've also got a red one. So I'm just gonna grate all of them together, or chop them together. So it's all great now. So that's how I want it. So I'm gonna put it in the bowl and start to put everything together. So this is the fish now. So I'm gonna be taking out the skin now. So I'm just gonna quickly wash my hands. You can put on gloves when you want to do this. I don't see any trouble using my hand. So that's facing. So I'm gonna be pulling them off. So on a normal day, if I want to just eat the fish and the skin, I have to just use knife or the scale scraper to scrape out the scale. But this method also help you take out the bone properly, so without having to like cut your hand or require any sort of skills. Because some people have got skills to take out, to separate fishes from different part of their body, yeah. So I've not got that skill, so I've only got this boiling process skills. So it just helped me quickly take out the bone wanted. So that was the reason why I boiled it. So if you don't boil the fish now, and you're trying to take the fish apart from the bone, You can't get a clean bone like this, you see. So no matter the skills you have, the fish, if you're trying to separate your fish from the bone whilst you didn't boil it, the fish you're gonna throw out with the bone will be more than the ones that is going with the bones that I'm putting out there. So that's the fish, guys. And I've taken out all the skin and the bone. So you've got a clean, nice fish here, and it's cooked properly. You can even eat it like this, and then you can cook it with anything. It doesn't have to be okra. It can be like stew. It can be like stew, or let's say rice and whatever you're cooking. So you could just put it on the side of your food. Yeah. So now that the fish is all clean and all picked now, let's begin. So the first thing I'm going to be adding in now is my palm oil. But I'm going to be using a little palm oil. Yeah, that much. Because I don't need much. So then I'm going to be adding in my salt. Yeah, I tend to avoid my oil heating too much on the fire before I use them. So it's not really good to bleach your oil or heat it for too long. So then the next thing I'm going to be adding in now is my blended peppers. So we're just going to keep frying the pepper for a bit. Not like frying, I'm going to cook it for a while before I add any other thing to it. So while I still want it to cook, I'm going to be adding in my Maggi stock. And I've still got salt left. So I'm going to be adding that with the crayfish. I'm just going to keep cooking the bell pepper and the scotch bonnet and the onions. It has cooked enough for me to add my okra now. So if you've noticed now, I've not added water to this yet. So I'm just going to like stir the pepper mix and the okra together first before having to add water to it. And I also don't like cooking my okra for too long. So now I'm going to be adding water now. So this is the water from the blender. I just rinsed it out so I don't waste anything. So I'm going to be adding that to my okra. I want my okra drawing volume to be very thick. So I'm going to be adding some obolor to it. It's just to boost the way the okra will draw. And it's optional. You don't have to add that if you don't have it or you don't want to. So adding obolor to your okra will also give you the chance to increase the volume. So let's say you have a lot of people to feed, but the okra you have is not a lot. So when you add when you add obolor to it, it helps you increase the volume. So even though I'm adding more water now, it still has that draw texture. So that's one thing obolor does for you when you add it to your okra. And the reason why I didn't add a lot of red oil is because I have the red bell pepper to help me work out the color of the soup. So because I'm on a diet, I'm minding the amount of oils that I'm using to cook my food. So that's why I assist every of my meal with red bell pepper. So it's kind of just give it this nice color. So if you don't add a lot of red oil or a lot of oil to your food, it won't make it look it won't look pale. So if I didn't add the red pepper now, I mean the paprika, the soup will look pale because I did not use enough red oil. So in order for you to avoid using too much red oil, you can try adding red bell pepper to your food so it can help you with the color. So as this is coming to a boil now, so I'm going to be adding in my fish. So I know it might look like, oh, she didn't even boil the fish with stock, so the fish will have taste and stuff. But I did use salt to boil the fish, and the fish is just sweet on its own. So you don't have to like use all the stock Maggi in the world to make your food cook sweet. So cooking, as I always say, is just you just have to know how to you just have to develop your own skills when it comes to cooking. As you continue to cook, you realize that you start to develop some skills yourself. So that's my king prawn. So I'm just adding it in now. So basically the last thing I'm adding, and the reason is because this soup is not going to stay anything less than 5 minutes now before I bring it down. Because I also advise you don't overcook your soup. Because you know most soup we cook these days now, we just pack them up in the freezer and then later on we defrost and we warm them on the microwave. So that's another process of cooking. So if you know you're going to cook your food up and pack them in the fridge, I advise you don't overcook them because you're going to warm or you're going to microwave them later on, and that's another process of cooking. Any vitamins you're supposed to benefit from the food, if you cook it too long, you might lose it. So that's just it, guys. So this is how I cook my okra soup. So you can add more meat if you want, but today I decided to just use the king prawn and the red bream fish. And you can also smoke the fish. You can grill the fish. So it doesn't have to be the boiling method that I used just now. But there's something about this that I just like. We all have our own preference on the things we want in our food. So this is just one of the way that I like to eat my food. And this is not looking bad at all. Yeah, it's not looking bad. So that's it, guys. As I said before, this is how I cook my okra soup. Thanks for watching my video, and please do not hesitate to ask me any question at all. Anything you don't understand, just ask me. I'm just right there to answer your question. And please do not forget to subscribe or share my videos with your friends and families so that you can also help me grow my subscribers. So that's just basically people subscribe to my channel, let's just hit the nail on the head. Please help me grow my channel, help me increase my subscribers by sharing to your friends and families so that they too can subscribe to my channel as well. And also you can click the notification button so that when I have any video that comes up, I'm sure my video from now on is going to be more frequent than it used to be. So you need to click the notification button. So don't just go relax and be like, yeah, Precious post one now in 3 months time. No, I could do every day if you let me, but I'm going to be frequent than before. That's just the gist. So that's it. You see now, my king prawn now has just cooked. It doesn't take time for it to cook at all. Even while you leave your soup on the heat, it's still cooked. So I'm just going to switch off my gas now, and that's it. So every other thing that needs to be fully cooked. Bye.